My brother Tony was always my protector, the kind of person you'd never expect to falter. But when I was 10, a group of goons tried to kidnap him, and I got taken instead. They wanted ransom, and they got it. But not before they carved up my face, shattered both my legs, and left me permanently scarred, inside and out. Tony went ballistic. He took over the family business, Dad's organization if you catch my drift, and built it into something huge. I became his world, his untouchable treasure. Someone laughed at my scars. Tony shoved his head into a trash bag full of rats, let them chew his face to a bloody mess. Some wise guy badmouthed my limp. Tony ran a freaking steamroller over his legs, turned them to hamburger. Tony was the boogeyman of the whole damn tri-state area, but he treated me like I was made of spun gold. He spent a fortune sending me overseas for reconstructive surgery, physical therapy, and a fancy college education. Right before graduation, I got a wedding invitation from Tony. He was all excited, said I was going to have a sister-in-law to spoil me rotten. He even sent a picture of the lucky lady. But the second I walked into the house, his fiancée, this ice queen named Brittany, burst in with a crew of muscleheads. She thought I was Tony's kept woman from overseas and decided to teach me a lesson. Tony showed up mid-beatdown. Brittany pointed at me lying on the floor and wailed, "Am I not good enough for you, Tony? Choose her or me." Tony's eyes went dark. "You got more lives than a cat." Bang. The patio door shattered, and a bunch of bruisers barged in, looking like they were ready to start a war. I guessed, then recognized the woman leading them. Brittany, my soon-to-be sister-in-law from the photos Tony sent. Before I could even say hello, she swung a freaking baseball bat straight into my face. Pain exploded in my nose and warm liquid trickled down. Blood. A sucker punch like that sent my head swimming. "There you are, you little gold digger. Thought you could hide out in Europe forever, didn't you? Didn't think you'd ever come back to mooch off Tony's money." Brittany screamed. She raised the bat again, aiming for my head and body. I scrambled back, clutching my head, tripping over the rug and landing on my butt. "You've got it all wrong, She shoved the bat in my mouth, twisted it. Pain ripped through my gums and teeth, and the taste of blood filled my throat. I choked and spat out a mouthful of red. "Wrong my ass. Don't think I don't know you conned Tony into buying you this mansion. You think I am stupid? You know I'm marrying Tony and you come back trying to steal him from me." She kicked me in the ribs, sending me sprawling. My head smacked against the edge of the coffee table, cracking it open. I was furious and terrified, gulping down the blood. I blurted out, "You really have the wrong idea. I'm Tony's sister." "A sister like a good little nun?" Brittany laughed sarcastically. One of her goons leaned in and whispered, "I did hear the boss had a sister out of the country, but nobody's ever seen her. Something about the accident." Brittany sneered at my face. "Sister my ass. She doesn't look anything like Tony." Just then, a woman walked in. Tony's right-hand woman, Frankie. She'd been with Tony forever. She'd recognize me. "Frankie, help me. It's me, Amy." Frankie did a double take. "Who the hell is this? How does she know me?" Frankie was hesitant, but before I could finish, Brittany smacked me hard across the mouth with the bat again. I clutched my bleeding mouth, unable to speak. "Just a little tart who heard us talking, trying to get a leg up." Frankie shook her. "Ed." "No, she said she was Amy. Only family calls her that. This doesn't make sense." She hurried to me, grabbed my face, studying me hard. "Doesn't look like Tony's sister." My heart sank. This was my new face, the one she hadn't seen. Wait a minute. She got major surgery in Europe, didn't she? Changed her whole face. Frankie finally put it together. I nodded like a maniac, hoping, desperately, that she'd understand. "Yes, I'm his sister, Amy." Brittany waved her hand. "A surgery, every chick who wants a meal ticket has that. Don't be gullible." Frankie held up a hand to stop her. "Faces can be fake. IDs can be fake. Let's find out who this really is." Two of Brittany's thugs grabbed me, ready to search me. I struggled, and she slapped me. "Hold still! You tie her up!" They bound my hands. Since the accident, Tony never let anyone touch me, and he would have their hands hacked off if he saw this. Frankie was still cautious. Why beat her up this bad? What if she really is his sister? Brittany smiled weakly and offered her a cigarette. Relax, we are getting married. He will forgive me for being protective. Frankie nodded, taking the cigarette. True. They grabbed my wallet. Brittany snatched it open and laughed. See? I knew it. Frankie peered over her shoulder and said, Jennifer Smith. Then she flipped to my college ID. Jennifer Smith, not Amy. My heart went ice cold. After the accident, Tony had my name and records changed, even moving the address of where I lived. He hadn't told anyone. I wasn't a Smith. I was supposed to be Amy Costello, and I was his baby sister. Frankie's eyes hardened. You tried to con us. Get her. They threw me on the floor, fists flying. My phone fell out of my pocket. When the screen lit up, Frankie saw my wallpaper. Her face changed in an instant. Wait. It was a picture of Tony and me. Frankie trembled as she picked it up. This your phone? I nodded so hard I thought my head would fall off. Brittany rolled her eyes. It's just a picture. She probably photoshopped. It trying to fool us. I tried to show Frankie my texts. She unlocked my phone with my face, opening my texts with Tony. Her contact name for Tony is Bro, Frankie exclaimed, shocked. Brittany grabbed my phone. Every tart calls the big guy Bro to get in his wallet. Don't believe her. She scrolled again and her face turned red with rage. He bought you a mansion? He calls you baby? He says he never wants to be apart from you? Like I said, a good little cop, but she doesn't know her place. Tony loved me. Since the attack, he never wanted me to go overseas again. Ever since, no one touched me. But here I was, being beaten by his fiancée, unable to call for help. My heart broke, and I sobbed. Frankie frowned. She's got the princess thing down. Let's double check. Maybe he's nuts about his sister. If this is her, we are screwed, Brittany agreed. Fine, I'll call him. If she is Tony's sister, fine, but if she ain't? Her face went ugly. She's going to regret the day she was born. She ordered her goons to gag me and called Tony. Hey babe, you said your sister was coming for the wedding. What day is she? Flying in? I want to get her a present so I can welcome her. Tony answered, She's flying in tomorrow night. A chill ran down my spine. I changed my flight to surprise Tony, and I was here now. Brittany glared at me. If she hung up, it was over. I bit down on my gag as hard as I could. The goon yelped and let go. Tony, help me! I screamed at the top of my lungs. Brittany's face went white. She kicked me, putting her heel on my mouth. That's just the TV, my love. Amy comes tomorrow. Night. The phone went dead, and I felt hope fade. Her heel ground into my mouth harder and harder. Trying to screw me. I almost believed you. Her eyes met mine, filled with jealousy. He already decided to marry me, but he still bought you a house. I will make you hurt. She pulled back her leg. The boss always takes care of his women. Since he likes her, let's let her live. You'll be his wife, and he'll pay her money. Frankie agreed. You can be the boss, and he will have some fun. I wanted to curse them. How could they think Tony and I would ever have something beyond a brother and sister? I hated Brittany for thinking that. She was everything Tony always warned me about. Once I saw him, I would make him call off the wedding. Brittany saw the rage in my eyes and exploded. You want to mess with me? I will make you hurt. She grabbed a knife and slashed my face. No! I screamed in pain. But Brittany didn't stop. When you're ugly, Tony will only love me. Each cut was like being stabbed in the gut. It took 3 years of surgery to make my face right again, and she was going to ruin it. You're dead, I whispered, and Brittany laughed. Screw you. She sliced my lips and I felt them split open. Brittany pulled back the knife. She stepped back and I heard a voice. Boss, what are you doing here? It was Tony. Tony was here. I struggled to get up, but my legs gave out. Brittany kicked me in the knees with the iron bar and my legs failed. Frankie panicked, telling her to hide me. If he sees you, he'll kill you. Brittany and the goons dragged me to the kitchen. No sooner had they shut the sliding door than Tony walked in. I told you to get the house fixed up. Where's everything? I just got here. The stuff's in the car. Frankie rushed out to unload the car. and Tony looked around. Yeah, he likes the place. Is this the kitchen? Tony asked the designer and grabbed the door. I saw his outline through the glass and tears burst out. Tony, you have to save me. He slowly opened the door. His face changed when he saw Brittany and me. Brittany, what the hell are you doing here? Who's this? Why is she covered in blood? Tony pointed at me, his brow furrowed. Tony, it's me! Recognize me already! They had me hogtied. I could only try to squirm across the floor toward Tony. Brittany kicked me in the face. Shut your mouth. My head swam. I whimpered, struggling to call out. Tony! Brittany lost. She kicked my mouth again. Who's the... screaming for my guy. Tony visibly flinched when he heard my voice. He knelt down, studying my face. Before he could place me, Brittany jumped in. Honey, I know what's going on. She's your little plaything from overseas, right? You bought her this house and I understand. You are Tony Costello, but I always thought you were a gentleman. You are a man. Brittany's eyes welled up and her voice cracked. I just wanted to see what made you so obsessed. I can learn. I can do what she does? Then maybe you love me more? Tony looked moved. He pulled her into a hug. Don't talk crazy. You're the only one I love. Why else would I marry you? I'm not messing with you, silly girl. This house is for Amy. She's coming home tomorrow. You're jumping to conclusions. Who is this? I don't know what you are talking about. Tony looked puzzled and pointed at me. Brittany's face went white. She's just some lowlife who crossed me. Frankie and I were giving her a lesson. Tony frowned. She crossed you? Okay, fine, but you shouldn't bring her to Amy's house, so she has to get out of there. It is not a welcome mat. That is blood on the house. It is jinxed. Tony's harsh words made Brittany's voice shake. I got it. I'll have my boys take her out and clean it up. I'll hire a priest. Amy will see I am a good girl. She won't hold it against me, right, honey? Tony gave her a patronizing smile. Amy's got a good heart. She won't blame you. I thrashed, trying to get away from the goons. If they took care of me, I was dead. She had me pegged, and it was the only sure way to keep me quiet. I had to get away. I struggled even harder, earning another slap. You're going to regret messing with me, trash? Let's go. As they dragged me off, Frankie walked in carrying a statue of St. Joseph. Seeing Tony's sour face, she chimed in, Relax, boss. We didn't want her blood in the house. She had it coming. And we were just trying to teach her a lesson. She said we should pay for it. Brittany gave her a look. Tony pounced on the keywords, his voice turning cold. What? She was pretending to be Amy? Frankie nodded enthusiastically. Yeah, total faker. We checked her ID, it's not Amy. That's not a real girl. Brittany tried to shush her, but it was too late. Tony's eyes went ice cold. She's playing Amy? What an insult to the family name. She handed Tony my fake IDs. He stared at them, his face white as a ghost. What the hell? Tony's eyes flashed red. The Chichi's name is Jennifer. She kept shouting that she was his baby sister. It almost worked. Thank God that you were here. Hearing that, Brittany started to backpedal. Yeah, Frankie caught her in, the lie and gave her a walloping. Tony winced. He dropped the IDs and cradled me in his arms, tears in his eyes. Amy, is it really you? I weakly nodded, trying to croak out his name. Tony. Frankie's face went chalky. Boss, that eye's lying. Before she could finish, Tony backhanded her so hard she staggered. Shut your trap. I changed Amy's name. Years ago. Nobody knows. Not to protect her from guys just like you. Frankie clutched her cheek, shocked. How would I know? Then it's not my fault. Tony, tears streaming down his face, pulled me close again. Amy, who did this to you? I'll call an ambulance. One of the goons hurried out. Frankie sank to the floor. If anything happens to Amy, I'll kill you, Tony roared. Frankie went pale. She knew she was screwed. She called you honey? She tried. To lie to me about what she was doing? I did not know what was going on. Tony glared. Boss, we called you earlier. You said Amy wasn't coming until tomorrow night. Maybe she took the Bidon stuff. She made a copy of the phone number. It happened. Tony froze. Hope flickered in his eyes. He loved me so much. He didn't want to believe I was hurt so badly. He set me down and pulled out his cell, dialing my number. Brittany's phone started ringing. She fished it out of her purse, handing it over like it was a bomb. Honey, I found it outside. Is this her phone? Tony grabbed it, staring at the screensaver. His eyes overflowed. It's her. This picture. We took it 2 Christmases ago at my house. Brittany wrung her hands. It's all my fault. Tony brushed the screen, then glared at Frankie. Frankie, you've been with me forever. How do you not know Amy's voice? You helped hurt her. And it isn't Amy's fault. And the phone and everything. I swear I am not the bad guy, not the gold digger. It is an accident. Frankie trembled, groveling. Maybe she stole her phone too. Please, boss, give me a shot. Tony tried unlocking the phone using my birthday. It worked. He quickly found my notes. He read aloud, Tony's wedding is this weekend. I'm sneaking home to surprise him. He bought me a new place. It is good to be loved. Tony gave you so much, and I was always hoping that one day I would have that. My heart broke all over, again. Tony started to weep. Amy, my baby sister, I'm going to make everyone who hurt you pay. Frankie turned ghostly pale, shaking. But I didn't do anything to hurt the Batarrinda. Hearing that, Tony tossed the saint at her. He hit her so hard that she started bleeding from the mouth. All is fair in love and war, and now war has begun. Tony scooped me up again, careful of my injuries. He bellowed at his guys, Go home to hell! They scrambled to leave. We were going to get her a wedding, but the devil is not getting in the way of love. I love you, and I know that will never change. So I knew that it was a mistake for me to come back. Hearing all that, Brittany's eyes went big, and I became furious with the devil. Tony sighed and hugged the saint. Amy, here in heaven is happy. So there is heaven here on earth. The ambulance arrived outside. Tony told 2 of his men to carry me out, climbing in with me. He told them to take Brittany and Frankie to the hospital too. If Amy's not okay, I'll bury them both alive. In the ambulance. Tony held my hand, tears falling on me. I tried to wipe them away, but everything went black. When I woke up, I was wrapped in bandages, and an IV was stuck in my arm. Brittany and Frankie were kneeling nearby, shaking. Amy, you're awake! Tony called for a doctor, telling me everything would be all right. Don't worry, this is Tony Costello. He's the best. The doctors are tops. You'll be fixed up in no time. The doctor examined my eyes, listening to my heartbeat. He sighed. Boss, the main thing is she's got a concussion. Also, she suffered. That's it. She passed out from the shock of the attack, but she'll be all right. A few fluids, meds, and some rest. She'll be back on her feet in a couple of weeks. Tony relaxed a little. Any long-term damage? The doctor hesitated. Spit it out. Well, she has a scar. This is a sad day because it marks another scar. He knew my face had been rebuilt after the original attack, and he knew Tony's feelings, so he was worried he would get hurt. And her lips were cut. They'll always have a scar. Whoever did this is scum. Tony's eyes went red. Get the best doctors in the world here. Money's no object. Now the doctor practically ran off. Tony picked up a scalpel and glared at the 2 kneeling women. Which one of you sliced up my sister's face and ruined her lips? Tell me. Brittany pointed at Frankie. She did it. I saw the knife on her. Frankie looked horrified, shaking her head. Boss, I've been with you forever. I would never hurt Amy. Tony nodded and called in 2 of his muscle. Search her. They found the bloody scalpel on Frankie. Her face crumpled. She turned on Brittany. You set me up. You put it on me. Brittany grabbed a pair of scissors and stabbed Frankie in the mouth. Frankie clutched her face, unable to speak, but Brittany was relentless, jamming the scissors into her lips again and again, mutilating her face. Frankie collapsed, screaming. Brittany dropped the scissors. Honey, it was a flower knife, she said to Tony. Amy knows why she is called flower knife. She stabbed her right in the face. Tony picked up the blade and saw it engraved, and the flower she asked for it this morning so she could have the day off. She did not know what she was doing. I know you want her to be healed from the inside out, but for now that will have to do. I wish Amy knew her past like you know her future, Tony thought to himself. Amy needs to take her past into the light and forgive herself. This is what you did. Amy's heart. How dare you? Tony's eyes burned. He turned to Frankie. You were here when Amy needed you the most. I will have my boys fix her right up. You didn't protect her, but you also did not hurt her. You can live with my blessing. Tony gritted his teeth, consumed with rage. Frankie shook her head. She pulled out her phone, wanting to type a message and tell Tony the truth. Tony looked like he might let her, but Brittany kicked the phone out of her hand. Then she stabbed Frankie in the hands with the scissors. No! Frankie collapsed, writhing. In agony, Brittany hadn't finished. You're going to use these hands to kill her? I was supposed to fix everything and bring her back. She stabbed each finger, slicing the tendons. Frankie passed out, her hands ruined. Honey, the doctors say Amy may never recover. That's not true. She will always be remembered and cared for. Maybe she should also see what it's like to be scarred. Brittany sobbed, dropping the blood-soaked scissors. Tony nodded and called in 2 of his men. Amy had her face ruined. What goes around comes around, and it goes around in real life now. Make a copy of her. The men paled, and they dragged the limp body away. Sounds of screaming filled the room. Tony came back, promising me that Frankie was sleeping with the fishes. He held my hand. It's too bad that they let it get that far. He gave me a cold stare, and I shivered, but the bandages covered my mouth and I could speak. Her eyes held, a cold cruelty. She'd find a way to shut me up for good. Honey, why don't you sleep now? I am still here, Brittany cooed, running her fingers through his hair. Tony looked at me and brushed my cheek. You were very brave, and you deserve a gold medal for all that you had to go through with that. He left. Tony, don't go. She's going to kill me. I could have been so famous and gone so far, but because of all this, it is a mess. Brittany took a seat by my bed. She pulled out a thermos and poured me a cup of water. Realizing I could drink, she said, Oops, forgot. Need a straw. Your mouth is still sore. The door opened. Tony was back. I need to get one now, he said. He left, and the sound of his footsteps grew fainter. Brittany's face twisted into a sneer. He doesn't trust me at all. He pretends, but he hears what I am saying. But he likes me. If I show him good, he will stay by my side. Hearing that, I grabbed my phone, typing furiously. Brittany, Frankie, is dead. I won't tell anything. Tony, I don't blame you. You did this because you love him so much. She read it and cackled. You get it, smart girl. We will be fine. My body relaxed, but a second later, Brittany's face went dark. He only has eyes for you. Before you came, everything I did was fine. Now you think you are better? He used to be under my thumb. You are going to ruin my life. Her obsession was a disease. She hated that I was his sister. I tried to whimper and explain, but she put my phone out of reach. Then she pulled out a bag of powder, dumping it into my water. Here, you'll feel better now. I love you, even if you are crazy and hate me. She stirred, smiling sweetly. The doctor said your blood sugar was a little low. I need to fix that. This is powerful. I will use these to heal you. The other doctors say that what they're doing will work. I do not believe that you can be saved. Just drink. You won't hear or say anything ever again. A long time ago, I helped my brother, and he has never forgotten. She would turn me into a vegetable, silencing me forever. I shuddered. Why? I didn't do anything. She knew what I was thinking. You should have come back. I will turn back. Time, but it is going to be worth it to see the good in the world again. Footsteps sounded outside. Brittany froze. Tony pushed the door open, handing her a straw. Sweetheart, help Amy drink. Her mouth is so dry. Brittany smiled, putting the straw in my mouth. I shook my head. Tony sighed. Why are you so stubborn, Amy? Brittany pushed the cup closer. You need to be brave and remember that a single thread of love can save a single family. She stopped. Tony pulled the needle from her chest, and he has a single tear running down his face. You need to learn to be happy, honey. I hope I did that for you. I hope Amy is safe and is going to come to peace. We can stop fighting. Not anymore. I told you, anyone who hurts my sister dies. But you were supposed to be my wife. I gave you one chance. Tony clapped, and the two goons rushed in. Tie her up. They hog-tied Brittany, making sure she was helpless. I finally understood. Tony knew Brittany was guilty. He set her up. My eyes widened. Tony smiled at me. For years, I am not a good man. For a good man, I need to make sure Tony told me a little story about you and your life, and I saw your potential. The family told him about how when he was younger he could do all these things. He was on the right path. The thing about Amy is that she will live a good life. I turned a new leaf. To me, she will never not be innocent. That is the best I will be able to have with her. He turned away, his face turning dark. Tony laughed. Those family members will get to see Amy smile for real, and that is what matters. There is a camera here. When those two goons came and said those awful things, I called my team. They can help. You can rest and they will be there for you. You are always supposed to be a good person. Those guys will fix you right up. Hearing what Tony said, her eyes narrowed. I finally understood. There was a camera. He was just trying to make sure she would not say anything else. But his trap worked, and the camera was there, and he had a whole video of it. Amy was the target all along. Tony held my hand. Amy, I haven't been like those people ever. Not one to let people hurt you. He did all that for you so that he could have his chance to have a good life and a good family. I want a family. I will do whatever it takes. With that, the music stopped. How am I supposed to say that I am sorry? Those goons killed people for you every day, she screamed. You're going to pay the price for all this. He can't stay mad at you because people do things for him, but that isn't your fault. It just means that you were trying to protect him. I got her what she wanted, and that is all that mattered, and that is all that she will go down with. You are always so nice and caring. I trusted you with my heart, and you do not know it. What a life. He is always trying to make her life better, so he will do everything so that he can have that. When she had her moment, everyone knew she was done. Tony was going to kill her, and she needed to remember it was her fault. The ambulance arrived outside. Tony looked at me, a sad smile on his lips. You are very safe, been brave. I wish I knew you more. With that, he left. Tony, don't go. You do not get it. The thing about people like that is that they always want more. They need you to let them know you are listening, so you needed to do whatever it takes because people are always like that, and it is terrible. Brittany fell into a trance. Tony, stop, she whispered. Tony, you were the one who put me in that trap. You are so stupid. Tony did nothing. Everyone did nothing. She closed her eyes. There was no one going to go with her to the next destination. Suddenly, she was gone. It was like magic, but it was just death. Tony did it. Tony had his boys drag him away and he called the cops. But Brittany would never hurt anyone ever again. 1 month after that, she went on trial. She would have to live with what she had done forever. 3 months after that, Tony built the hospital and put doctors there. My face would be safe forever. We did it! The operation was a success! My lips would look different because it was always going to, but it was worth it. Tony smiled and said, how does it feel to finally be free? After all this, I was excited to start my new life. The future was ahead. There were 2 years until I was with the family. Tony put them in my hands. Tony was so glad. Do you want to give them to me as a sign of good luck? I shook my head and smiled. I held the hand and smiled. Tony smiled back. 3 years later, I will find some good in the world, and I will get my family back. What I didn't realize was how far it would go. A new chapter was starting. I put my foot down. I will take her name and give her everything. With that, it happened. There was a new light. Tony cried. You are good to me, he sobbed. Thank you. There was something beautiful about being next to him. I smiled back. You are good to me too.